Hello friend, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and doing great. So today I'm back with another video review on another book, which these are the three books which we're going to see today in this video, and three of them are about mind, body and spirits. We have already given reviews to many of the books in this channel. If you haven't watched it yet, you can visit our channel and watch it there. If you guys wanted to buy any one of these best-selling books, you can buy it from our Amazon page, which link is given below. So the first one book which we're going to see today in this video is the Letters for the One Becoming Whole. Introduction. Letters for the One Becoming Whole is not merely a book. It is a companion, a collection of intimate reflections and sanctuary for weary souls. Unlike traditional self-help or motivational literature that often promises transformation through rigid steps and techniques, this book is a deeply personal offering written in the form of letters. Each letter feels like a whisper to the reader's heart, reminding them that healing, acceptance, and wholeness are not destinations to be reached, but ongoing processes to be embraced. At its core, the book speaks to anyone who has ever felt fragmented, broken, or unworthy. Or unworthy. Through tender words, poetic prose, and an unwavering tone of compassion, the author seeks to hold space for the complexities of the human experience. Rather than providing instructions, the book offers presence, teaching readers how to sit with their own emotions, their own stories, and their own becoming. This review will explore the book's themes, structure, literary qualities, and emotional resonance. It will also reflect on its relevance in contemporary life and situate it within the broader tradition of spiritual and psychological healing literature. The concept of wholeness. The guiding theme of this book is wholeness. Importantly, wholeness here does not mean perfection, flawlessness, or the absence of pain. Instead, it refers to the ability to live authentically while embracing one's fractured parts, contradictions, and vulnerabilities. Many people pursue wholeness as if it were an achievement or a final state of being. Each letter insists that being whole is about integration, bringing together our light and shadow, joy and sorrow, strength and fragility into an honest, compassionate acceptance of self. This framing is liberating because it shifts the focus of from fixing ourselves to understanding ourselves. It allows readers to soften toward their wounds rather than judge them, and to see their scars not as shameful marks but as reminders of resilience. Structure and writing style. The book's epistolary structure, written in the form of letters, is one of its greatest strengths. Unlike chapters in a conventional guide, the letters do not build a linear argument but instead flow like conversations. This makes the reading experience intimate and personal. The reader often feels as though the author is addressing them directly, almost like a trusted friend, mentor, or even future version of themselves. Stylistically, the writing is lyrical and meditative. Sentences often linger in metaphor, living, inviting readers to pause and reflect rather than rush forward. For instance, imagery of seasons, tides, and cycles recur throughout the book, reinforcing the idea that life unfolds in rhythms and patterns beyond our control. The brevity of each letter makes the book versatile. One could read it sequentially or randomly, letting a letter meet them wherever they are in their emotional state. This flexibility mirrors the book's core philosophy: there is no one correct path to wholeness, only the path that emerges uniquely for each individual. Central themes: healing as a life journey. The letters remind readers that healing is not a single event but an ongoing process. Wounds wounds reopen, grief revisits, doubts return, but none of the negate growth. Instead, they're part of the cycle of becoming. The power of self compassion. Many letters encourage readers to themselves with the same kindness they would offer a loved one. The idea that self love is not indulgence but survival resonates deeply. Seasons of life. Nature cycles with nature cycles winter's dormancy, spring's rebirth, summer's abundance, and autumn's release are used as metaphors for human experience. These metaphors for human experience These metaphors remind readers that times of barrenness or struggle are not failures but necessary phrases that prepare the ground for renewal. Embracing vulnerability, the letter celebrates vulnerability not as to feel deeply, to admit uncertainty, to grieve openly. These are framed as signs of strength and authenticity. Hope and renewal. Even in its darkest reflections, the book maintains a thread of hope. The book maintains a thread of hope. Pain is not denied, but it is reframed as part of the journey. Each letter suggests that even in brokenness, beauty can be found. Emotional and psychological impact. What makes letters for the one becoming whole particularly powerful is its ability to resonate with diverse emotional states. For someone experiencing grief, the book offers solace. For someone on the brink of change, for someone weighed down by self doubt, it offers reassurance. The tone is validating rather than dismissing or minimizing suffering. The book acknowledges it fully, making the reader feel seen. The validation is profoundly therapeutic, echoing principles from psychology, particularly in areas like trauma informed care and mindfulness. Psychologically, the letters act as gentle cognitive reframes. They do not deny pain but shift the reader's perspective towards acceptance, resilience, and possibility. This is particularly valuable in a world where people are pressured to move on quickly from hardships. Practical applications. Although not a conventional manual, the book lends itself to practical use. Daily reflection. Reading one letter each morning can serve as a grounding ritual. Journaling prompts. themes of the letters can inspire deeper self reflection through writing. Therapeutic companion, counselors, therapists, and support groups might find the book useful as a supplementary resource for clients navigating healing journeys. Gift of comfort. The book is also an ideal gift for someone going through transition, loss, or self doubt. Literary qualities. The prose is poetic without being inaccessible. It avoids heavy jargon and speaks in universal metaphors that transcend cultural and political differences. The repetition of imagery, such as the ocean, light, and seasons, gives the book a soothing rhythm, much like a meditation. The letter format also allows the author to shift tone from nurturing to encouraging, from gentle to firm, depending on the message. This variability keeps the book while engaging while maintaining its cohesive emotional voice. Comparison with similar works. Letters for the One Becoming Whole sits within the tradition of reflective and spiritual writing. Spiritual writing. It shares kinship with Matt Haig's The Comfort Book. Both provide bite-sized reflections meant to comfort and inspire. Penny Bounds, The Gifts of Imperfection, similar in its encouragement of self-compassion and authenticity. Khalil Gibran's The Prophet, comparable in poetic tone and timeless wisdom. What distinguishes Letters from the One Becoming Whole is deeply personal and epistolary format which creates intimacy that feels like a less lecture and more like a conversation. Strengths of the book: intimacy and accessibility. The letter format feels deeply personal. Timeless wisdom. Its themes are universal, not bound by culture or era. Gentle validation. It acknowledges suffering without rushing to fix it. Practical versatility can be read continuously or in fragments. Therapeutic tone offers both comfort, and encouragement. Conclusions. Letters for the One Becoming Whole is more than a book. It is a quiet revolution in how we think about healing and self-discovery. It rejects the myth of perfection and instead celebrates the messy, non-linear journey of becoming. It teaches it teaches that our brokenness is not evidence of failure but proof of humanity. The book's greatest gift is its gentle presence. It does not demand, it invites. It does not prescribe, it comforts. It does not rush, it lingers. For anyone navigating grief, transition, or the simple struggle of being human, this book is both mirror and balm. So the next book which we're going to see today in this video is that why has nobody told me this before, by Dr. Julie Smith. Introduction. In today's fast-paced world where anxiety, stress, and self-doubt run high, Dr. Julie Smith, why has nobody told me before, has emerged a beacon of practical wisdom for those seeking mental clarity and emotional balance. Published in 2022, the book is not just another self-help manual, rather it is a rather it is a carefully structured guide rooted in cognitive behavioral therapy, psychology, and emotional intelligence. Dr. Smith, a clinical psychologist with years of experience, has distilled the most valuable lessons from her professional practice into a book that is both accessible and empowering. The title itself resonates with readers instantly. Many of us have encountered moments of personal struggle when we wish someone had given us the right words, tools, or frameworks earlier in life. This book aims to be that missing voice by addressing common struggles such as such as motivation, emotional pain, grief, stress, and self doubt. Dr. Smith offers clear, evidence based strategies that empower individuals to become their own therapist in everyday life. This review will explore the book in depth, its structure, content, central themes, writing style, strengths and limitations, and its overall impact on readers. Structure and content. The book is divided into digestible sections, each tackling a core element of human emotional experience. Unlike traditional psychology texts, it avoids dense jargon and instead of focuses on actionable advice, practical exercises, and clear examples. Dr. Smith begins with one of the most universal human experiences, sadness. Instead of presenting sadness as something to be eradicated, she emphasizes its natural role in life. The book encourages readers to stop demonizing sadness and instead learn to process and manage it. Through techniques through techniques such as journaling, mindfulness, and recognizing patterns of thought, she equips readers with tools to prevent temporary sadness from spiraling into deep depression. Deep depression. Motivation. Many self help books present motivation as an external force or a matter of willpower. But Dr. Smith reframes it as the product of small, consistent actions. She explains the psychology of behavior before motivation, that is, action generates motivation, not the way around. This section resonates with people struggling with procrastination as it dismantles the myth that one must feel motivated before taking action. Emotional pain and resilience. A significant portion of the book is devoted to teaching resilience, not a fixed trait but as a skill that can be developed. Dr. Smith draws upon CBT techniques to show how to thoughts, reframes thought, build coping mechanism, and reduce the power of intrusive, intrusive or negative self-talk. The message here is hopeful. Emotional pain cannot always be provided, but it can be managed with the right tools. Stress and anxiety. Dr. Smith breaks down the psychology of stress and anxiety, explaining how the body reacts in fight flight situations. By demystifying the process, she reduces the stigma around anxiety. Importantly, she teaches readers grounding techniques, breathing exercises, and the value of reframing catastrophic thinking. Grief and healing. Grief and healing. Unlike many self help books that shy away from grief, this book confronts it directly. Dr. Smith discusses the non linear nature of grief and emphasizes that healing is not about moving on but about learning to carry the loss in healthier ways. Her compassionate approach makes this section particularly powerful. Self doubt and building self worth. Dr. Smith challenges readers to recognize the difference between self-criticism and constructive reflection. She explains how to shift from destructive patterns of perfectionism toward a mindset of progress and self-compassion. This part of the book is particularly empowering for those who struggle with imposter syndrome. Themes and lessons. At its core, the book is about self awareness, resilience, and the practical application of psychology to daily life. Some recurring themes include small steps matter, change does not require monumental efforts, it begins with tiny, consistent practices. Emotions are not enemies. Sadness, anxiety, and grief are natural. The key is to acknowledge and manage them rather than suppress them. Self compassion over perfectionism. Progress is not about being flawless, but about showing up for oneself consistency. Writing style and accessibility. One of the book's greatest strengths is its accessibility. She avoids technical jargon with oversimplifying concepts striking a balance that makes the book suitable for both lay readers and those with some background in psychology. The inclusion of practical exercises at the end of the chapters transforms the book from passive reading into an active learning experiences. Her writing also feels deeply personal, like having a therapist speak directly to you, but without the clinical distance that often makes psychological literature feel cold. Themes and lessons. At its core, the book is about self awareness, resilience, practical application of psychology to daily life. Some recurring themes include knowledge or empowerment. Many people lack the basic tools for managing emotions. By sharing them, Dr. D democratizes psychological insights. Small steps matter. Change does not require monumental efforts. It begins with tiny, consistent practices. Emotions are not enemies. Sadness, anxiety, and grief are natural. The key is to acknowledge and manage them rather than suppress them. Self compassion over perfectionism. Progress is not about being flawless, but about showing up for once consistently. Okay. Strengths and limitations. Practical exercises actionable. Make it actionable. Compassionate, empathetic tone covers a wide range of emotional experiences accessible to readers from all walks of life. Conclusion. Why has nobody told me this before? Is more than a book. It is a toolkit for emotional resilience and psychological well-being. Dr. Julie Smith has succeeded in making complex psychological ideas accessible and actionable for everyday readers. Actionable readers. It doesn't promise instant happiness or miracle cures. Instead, it offers a grounded approach to understanding and managing life's inevitable struggles. For anyone feeling overwhelmed, lost, or simply in need of guidance, this book provides both validation and direction. It is not just a self help book, but a companion, one that encourages readers to see themselves not as broken but as capable of growth, healing, and resilience. So, the last book which we're going to see today in this video is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Introduction. When The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People was first published in 1989. 1989. It entered a market already flooded with self-help and leadership books. Yet, within a short time, within a short time, Stephen R. Covey's work distinguished itself and became a classic that continues to be read by leaders, students, professionals, and everyday people around the world. Unlike many quick fix solutions and motivational manuals, Covey's book presents a holistic philosophy of life based on timeless principles of characters, responsibility, and interdependence. With over 40 million copies sold globally, it remains one of the most influential works in personal development and leadership literature. What sets Covey apart is at its core, the book argues that habits shape destiny and that by consciously cultivating 7 key habits, a person can transform not only their productivity, but also their relationship, mindset, and long-term fulfillment. This review provides an in-depth analysis of the book's structure, explores each of the 7 habits, highlights its central themes, critiques its strengths and weaknesses, and reflects on its relevance in today's fast-paced, technology-driven world. Structure of the book. Covey organizes the book into 3 stages of personal growth: dependence, independence, interdependence. Dependence means relying on others for direction and support. Independence is about personal responsibility and self mastery. Interdependence is the highest stage, working with others collaboratively to create synergy. The 7 habits are not stand-alone tips, but part of a progression. Habit 1 to 3 deals with self mastery, private victory, and habit 4 to 6 focus on relationships and collaboration, public victory, and habit 7 emphasizes continual renewal. This structure makes the book more than a collection of advice. It is a framework for lifelong growth. Detailed breakdown of the 7 habits. Habit 1: Be proactive. This foundational habit emphasizes personal responsibility. Covey distinguishes between proactive people who focus on the circle of influence, things they can control, and reactive people who waste energy on the circle of concern. Example: instead of blaming traffic for being late, a proactive person leaves earlier. Instead of complaining about workplace culture, they focus on what they can do to influence it positively. Covey's point is profound. We always have the freedom to choose our response. Proactivity is not about controlling everything, but about taking ownership of one's reactions and choices. Modern relevance. In an age of social media and constant news, many people dwell in the circle of concern: political, global crisis, other opinions. Covey's lessons remains vital. Focus on what you can change. Habit 2: begin with the end in mind. Habit 2 is about vision and purpose. Covey challenges readers to imagine what they want people to say, at their funeral. This exercise pushes individuals to clarify their deepest values and write a personal mission statement. By beginning with the end in mind, people can align daily decisions with their long-term goals and principles. The habit prevents drift, living reactively, or chasing goals defined by others. For example, a professional might realize that their ultimate goal is not just career success, but also being a present parent. With this clarity, they can make conscious choices about work life balance. Modern relevance. In today's hustle culture may pursue success without asking what truly matters. That habit offers an antidote: intentional living guided by purpose, not external pressures. Habit 3: central themes and lessons. Character over personality. Effectiveness comes from principles like integrity and responsibility, not superficial tactics. Principle centered living. Universal principles, not trends, form the foundation of success. Inside out growth. Real change begins within. Interdependence as maturity. The highest form of growth is not independence but collaboration. Writing style and accessibility. Covey's writing blends personal anecdotes, case studies, and frameworks. His tone is thoughtful, sometimes dense, but always principled. This makes the book a manual to be studied, not skimmed. Some readers may find it less entertaining than newer self-help titles, but its depth makes it enduring. Strengths of the book: timeless principle-based approach, holistic framework, practical tools, inspires reflection and long-term growth. Conclusion. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People remains one of the most important personal development books ever written. Stephen Covey provides not just advice but a comprehensive philosophy for living with purpose, integrity, and effectiveness. Its relevance has only grown in today's world of distraction, division, and burnout. By practicing these 7 habits, individuals can achieve private victories of self mastery, victories of collaboration, and continuous growth through renewal. For readers who are willing to apply the principles consistently, Covey's book is not just informative, it is transformative. So this is all we have from these 3 of the books. I hope you guys like the book and you get the message which I have wanted to give to you with the help of these books. If you did, don't forget to press the like button, and you can also suggest me any book for the review in the comment section. And if you wanted to buy any one of these best-selling books, you can visit our Amazon page and buy it from there. So I'll be back with another videos with another books to entertain you, to give you some knowledge books. So till then, just take care and goodbye.